Welcome back. Alarm clock is set. I hate alarm clocks. I want some Lusaga. Man. Look at the detail in that ice. Just look at it. Time to get moving. Time to get moving. I thought, man, if I skip breakfast this morning, I won't be burping into the microphone a whole bunch. Nope. Still burping. I guess I'm just a burpy guy. Okay, can I go up there and do... no. That's not worth it yet. I can get the Chozo artifact, but I will miss the power bomb. And that's one of the ones that I frequently miss. So I'm gonna leave that. I think we can go back to Talon Overworld this way now. A lot of people don't like the backtracking in this game, or Metroid in general. It seems to be something that they're changing over time. They have changed over time. Dread does a really good job of like leading you in the right direction, though the map in that game is really confusing. At least for me it was. I think those guys take 8? No, that was only 6. Now that we got that boost ball, we can boost all over the place. Didn't she glow yellow when you first get the boost ball in the original? Now she's blue. I know it changes colors when you get different suits. Oh man, that's so much easier with the spring ball. I still maintain to this day, oh my god. I'm sorry for the voice crust. Once that clears up, I am gonna have that rich, smoky... No, that's the problem, it is smoky. Was smoky. I need that rich DJ voice. As I was saying, I still maintain that I think infrared is much more accurate than gyro. Gyro just seems to just like drift all over the place, regardless of how good your setup is. That's one of my biggest issues with the Switch. Hopefully the Switch 2 is different. I don't have one yet. The gyro for my Joy-Cons is crap unless it's actually plugged in. Unless it's docked. Or in handheld mode. With the controllers plugged in. Anytime I detach the right Joy-Con, it always DCs. It's so annoying. Because I like playing with motion controls. Depending on the game. Mario Odyssey had some wacky shit that I think you can only do with motion controls. Or maybe you can do it with a regular controller. It might just be a little more difficult. You can play this with motion controls, but it's really like... I don't think it's intended to be done with the Pro controller. Let's see. Classic pointer. Motion controlled aiming. I'm going to turn this on. I was on dual stick. So let's see. Please calibrate your controller by placing it on a flat surface. Controller successfully calibrated. Calibration complete. Actually, you know what? That's not bad. I take that back. Oh, it's different now. You have to actually press... Wait, what is... Oh, that's the... to recenter it. Because it probably drifts, because they always do. This actually isn't bad. I thought this was a lot worse. Maybe they updated it or something. I remember this being like almost unplayable. Shit, maybe I'll play it like this. I prefer to do this with the Joy-Con, but just because mine's screwed up, I'm gonna say this is better. This makes the game a lot harder, though. Oh, now I can fire fast because I'm pushing the button instead of pulling the trigger. I would suggest playing around with all the different control schemes in this. Also, this is the last point where, before you get the space jump, her ship has like a little extra gravity thing that sucks you up so that you can get up there. Whoop. And after you get the space jump, you can actually have both briefly. But as soon as you save, it's gone. As soon as you save with the space jump, which I will show. Boing, boing, boing. There it is. That's what I was looking for. Let me show you. I was never able to do this little trick here where you acquire the scan in that room and then back up and jump up there to get the space jump early. And I don't really need it. I don't know why people freak out about that. Like, you're not supposed to have it until this point. I may have to switch back to regular controls for boss fights. This guy's unique. This is the Gemer, I think. Gemer, wall-crawling mollusk with retractable spikes. The Gemer is an evolutionary offshoot of the Zoomer family. When threatened, it extends lethal spikes and retracts its head deep into its armored carapace. Wait, I don't need to go this way. This is the way. There's like really not much of a reason to play this with motion controls, other than just the fact that it's fun. Because you still need to lock onto stuff. Does that mean the right analog stick is now going to change beams? I haven't had to recenter it either. That's the Pro controller. I don't know if it's just me, but are Switches like notoriously bad with the Joy-Cons when they're detached? I know that there was like a they would replace them or something early on in the system's life cycle because of the drift, but mine doesn't drift, it just disconnects frequently. And I know I've gone through the whole thing about like put it in a good spot. I can be right in front of the Switch and it still DCs. I don't have any interference from other stuff. There's no like windows and reflections. Although I think the reflections were an issue with the Wiimotes because of the infrared. If you want a good comparison of infrared controls versus gyro controls, play the Wii version of Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword. Okay, this is what I was talking about. You have the space jump, but it still does this little extra boost to get you up there so you can space jump after that and really get some height. Whoa! What's the purpose of that, you ask? There is none. Other than the dreaded F word. What? Now it's gone. Oh no, it's still there. Maybe you have to like actually leave the room and then come back and it's gone. Okay, this is a stumbling point for me. We have to go back to Phendrana. I think so far my the direction you go in has been correct. My progression has been correct. I always screw something up around the power bombs and the X-ray visor. You can really get a good look at her gun when you use the motion controls. You can take a look at the charge beam pretty good too. Ooh, pretty. Whoa, who was that? Was that Metroid's girlfriend behind me? Whoa. Alright, now I'm getting slightly out of sync. I had to recenter it there. It does still happen slowly. I'm really out of sync there. Okay, there we go. It happens so slowly that you don't realize it, but then like after 20 minutes of gameplay, you're like upside down trying to compensate for it. You're like hanging from the ceiling. How'd that happen? It ain't a party till somebody gets duct taped to the ceiling. I hope you know what image I'm referring to. It's that like that old LAN party picture. And there's somebody, he's not duct taped to the ceiling, he's duct taped to like a ventilation shaft. This one, I don't even bother going back through the thing. I just jump through the magma and take a little bit of damage. I hear an expansion in there. That's the ice spreader. I think these things will make you regret it if you try to plow through this room without blowing them up. Whoops. Accidentally recentered. If you really want to challenge yourself with this game, don't use the lock-on when you play with gyro. Whoops. What did... Oh, both of the shoulder buttons. Do that. Man, look how hard it is to hit him when you don't. Can you imagine doing that in a fight? I guess Prime 3 didn't even make you do that. You still locks on and you still have to aim. Okay, that's what it is. That's better than if it just locked on, like, and kept her gun stuck in the same spot. That would completely defeat the purpose of motion controls. So has it ever been confirmed that at some point, we know that at some point, Phendrana had its own unique boss, because there's concept art of him, Which makes me think that, I mean, Thardus, he's a rock guy, so don't you think he'd be appropriate, like, for Magmoor Caverns? That's my particular fan theory. I think Thardus at one point was the boss fight for Magmoor, and whatever that unused guy was, he was the boss for Phendrana. Thardus, who's totally not just the rock guy from Galaxy Quest. Whoa, way out of sync all of a sudden. How'd that happen? Or out of center, I guess, would be the term. Up! And totally off again. Well, it was doing all right. I can see it drifting. I'm holding my hand as steady as possible here. Still have problems with it. Well, it's a good thing they give you the option these days. These guys are unique. Ice parasites. I just want to get through this room as fast as possible. I don't know why, but I hate this room. Doom, 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 doom. I probably had a traumatic experience when playing this when I was younger. I kept falling down or something. This is another room that strikes me as, like, cleverly disguised loading zone. Because the next room is pretty big. And has many enemies. I'm speaking freely about the Metroid series, so I guess if you don't want to hear spoilers, then too bad. This game is nearly 24 years old after all. Nearly a quarter of a century. The good thing about me is when I watch stuff, even when people do say spoilers, I don't remember what they said. If I go and play it myself, it's still new to me. Joke's on you, I'm too stupid to remember. Quit moving. This other chump's coming up behind me. He just got gnomed. They say you're not supposed to... They say don't dog your mates, but can you gnome your chums? Like you can get 4 in before he attacks you again. This, I hate doing this. You can cheese this guy so bad by doing this. Just stay in his face. He will always do that attack, and then you back up. Makes me feel bad for him. Oh, I backed up too far. He did something else. He's also unique. He's the only, like, full-sized she-goth. he's almost dead. He roars like that when he's almost dead. Wait, what? You can't even get him with that when you... Oh, that's right. If you're out of missiles, you have to use morph ball bombs. Now he can shoot his ice blasts at me. Got him. I didn't do it flawlessly, but I at least showed you the method. It seems like it recenters on its own when you... Okay, like if I have the controller held sideways when I'm in morph ball mode, then it centers to that... Yeah, it's sent... Okay, I see. As long as they have that recenter button, like, easily accessible, which it is, it's both of the right shoulder buttons. Still kind of frustrating, though, because you never had to do that with Prime 3. But those infrared sensors are very sensitive. The sensor is sensitive. If a piece of your Wii equipment gets destroyed, it's gonna be that. I think somebody stole mine. One of my friends stole mine. I never lose stuff. I never just have things disappear. But my Wii sensor bar just kind of vanished one time. I have a feeling one of my dipshit friends probably broke theirs and stole mine. And I think I know which one it was, too. Kind of hit me. It was one of those things where, like, you know, 10 years later, you're like, wait a minute. That little shit. It was the friend who ended up being a meth freak. Meth head. Don't do drugs, kids. And adults. I never saw somebody's health deteriorate as fast as when he started doing meth. There's my PSA for the day. I smelled it when I went into their house one time, too. It was one of the weirdest smells I've ever smelled. It was like it used to be the guy's hangout, the guy's house. And then, like, increasingly more and more people that I didn't recognize started showing up. People would just, like, walk in off the streets. When I saw that they were, like, going in the other room to buy drugs, I was like, okay, I'm out. I'll have a glass of water, thank you very much. Water for me, please. Gotta stay hydrated, dude. I wouldn't have the lightning fast reflexes I have today if that was the path I went down. All I can say is I hope he got himself cleaned up. Are these guys different? No, those are just regular old scarabs.
Put that down! You don't have enough scarabs! You pay this much. No, that's too low.
Okay, I need to get to that save point up there and then we'll break. These are scan points too, aren't they? The boost thingies, although I used it already, so it's... yeah. You need to get one that hasn't been used, I think. So are these. This is the stuff, this is why I never go for 100% scans. I always forget little things like this. Getting all the items is bad enough. If my parts go over 5 gigabytes, I'm gonna have to reformat my USB drive. Because for whatever reason, what is it, NTFS has a limit of 5 gigs? Now, that doesn't reset the spinners, does it? No, just the power bomb slot, or the bomb slot. I may end up getting my shit wrecked once we get into serious combat because of this control scheme. Oh man, I haven't even scanned the save point yet. Oof. It's time to pay the space pirates a visit. Here's another detail about this game. This song that plays in this room is a unique space pirate theme that you only hear in this room. Gotta get this scan. I'm listening to the music. I want to see if they kept the same song. I can't hear right now because I'm focused on this guy. Yeah, this is the unique one. I wonder if this is like a beta version of this song that they just kept in this one room. Empty stasis tank used for biological specimens. Yeah, that looks like it's completely filled with phazon. What was that? Can you destroy it? No. Anybody home? Right now, the command center for this place is like,
Oh shit, it's the hunter!
she's here!
Let him have it, boys!
Now who's getting remodeled? Can stun lock, I think, most pirate types with this. The timing for the charge beam is the same, even though it has that 3-round burst. You can fire those like short charge shots like that. If you play this on your own, I would highly suggest you read every single thing. I'm not going to, just for the sake of brevity. Read all this stuff too. This stuff's great. Thermal imaging can be used to detect weak areas. See, if you read this stuff, you've got an idea of like how to combat bosses. Phazon ore appears to bind through phazon energy. Thermal imaging is required to detect the highest concentration of radioactivity, which serves to bind the stones together. Imaging research is being conducted in the containment vault area of the facility. Mutates and irradiates everything it touches. Delicious candy. Tubes. I'm glad that meme endures. Anytime a new Metroid game comes out, you still see tubes. Even though that meme is nearly 20 years old at this point. I believe that meme came about when Prime 3 was released. I'm sure you've noticed already that the quickfire missile thing only works if you have the power beam equipped. Hey, you fellas! God, I hadn't even gotten him yet. I always miss like basic shit. I think I missed that one because I assume that you get it in the first area while you're on the ship. There are a bunch of scans in this room. We have codified the newfound energy source as Phazon, a V-Tex mutagen, of which we have very little reliable data. Indications point to a meteor of unknown origin expelling Phazon into the environment. This material appears to possess the power to mutate organic life forms sufficiently to withstand its poison. These mutations appear promising, with abrupt evolutionary leaps appearing in single-generation reproduction. Plans to establish a full science team on Talon 4 are being finalized. We now know that source was Phase. Mining operations have begun near the crater where Phazon appears to be most concentrated. Daily Phazon yields have increased 44% and our mining systems becomes more streamlined as personnel and equipment flows increase. Several incidents of Phazon-induced madness have been reported, prompting augmented life support regulations in the deeper chambers. Symptoms include loss of equilibrium, erratic respiration, muscle spasms, and in the most extreme cases, hallucinations. A timeline reassessment for the refinery operation is recommended, as the material proves more unstable than initial analysis indicated. Space pirating. Most terraforming and retrofitting of security checkpoints on Talon 4 are complete. But we continue to research the alarming epidemic of breaches by local creatures. Door records show no unauthorized entries, so we must presume the creatures are either slipping in undetected during daily personnel moves, or else finding their way in through subterranean tunnels. We have found many small breaches of this latter sort and plug them wherever we can, but it is unlikely that we will ever achieve full extermination within our current timetable. Within our current timeable. Read along with Metroid Prime. Our initial tests exposing Talon 4's indigenous parasites to Phazon appear to be successful. Increases in strength, size, and aggressiveness are common in all test subjects, as well as unforeseen evolutions like additional poison sacs within the abdomen and the appearance of a second ring of mandibles in several subjects. These creatures were chosen because of their resilience, and it appears possible that, given enough exposure to Phazon, they may one day be able to survive on any planet we transport them to. Our methods will have to be refined. We currently have a 100% extinction rate after the 4th infusion period, and most survivors of the 3rd infusion stage are so violent and uncontrollable that they have to be euthanized. Even still, we remain hopeful that further experimentation will result in success. Now, is this the room that has the guy floating around in the middle up here? No. There's a beta enemy in one of these rooms. He's in pieces, but he's still a beta enemy, and you can actually see him in the instruction manual of the original GameCube version of Metroid Prime. It's kind of like a background image. It's just a beta design for the space pirates. I think it's in the other lab on the other side. Whoops. Also, isn't there a expansion down here somewhere? I can hear it. Fortunately, these guys don't do a whole lot of damage. Once you get to the Phazon mines, though, they do, I believe, 10 damage per shot, which can add up very quickly. This is the one that I heard, probably. There's the one, there's like a little catwalk in one of the other rooms. I get the two laboratories confused because they pretty much look the same. I know there's one over here. There it is. Research Outpost Glacier 1 in the Phendrana Drifts region of Talon 4's mountains is operating at 85% capacity. There's a mouthful. Research Outpost Glacier 1 in the Phendrana Drifts region of Talon 4's mountains is operating at 85% capacity. Sub-zero temperatures have made the Metroids sluggish and easy to control, even those well into Phazon infusion cycles. Cold containment stasis tanks are sufficient for the juveniles, but some of the larger Metroids have been moved to quarantine caves for safety purposes. Security doors remain an issue, as malfunctions due to ice occur every day. Large predators in the wastes are also a concern, as they continue to kill personnel and breach secure areas. Unfortunately, it has become clear that our containment teams cannot neutralize all of them without a vast increase in munitions and soldiers. Hint hint, hey command, send us more shit. If you stand at the farthest point of this room, that turret can't hit you. Also, that's the worst way to kill those, because they start shooting like crazy. Just get out of their range. My earbuds are out of sync. I hope that doesn't affect the recording. I don't see why it would. I'm using my Bluetooth earbuds to monitor the gameplay audio, which I guess you kind of have to. Can't play the game otherwise, because if I play it through the speakers, then there'll be echo. That's something about modern technology. I'm not going to blame that on either the Switch or the Steam Deck, but I think Bluetooth sucks. Excuse me, buddy. I'm trying to read all of your personal information here. Do you mind? Trying to read your private logs. Thud. Amazing that this game actually has like its own physics engine. The space power log. Phazon mining is underway. Several garrisons have been established, and terraforming of the Chozo ruins is underway. Security systems are operational, and science team continues to make progress in their biotech research. The Phendrana Drifts have proven to be an optimal location for research headquarters, and soon it will be joined by a fully operational combat base and starpoint. If Command's predictions are half true, we shall rise to dominance in this sector within a decacycle. Truly, these are glorious times. The space pirate logs in Metroid Prime 2 are great, because they're just getting their shit wrecked by everybody. Scans of the spiral sector detected a massive energy spike emanating from a Wanderer-class planet identified as Talon 4. Scout reconnaissance was immediately dispatched to the center of the spike. A landmass at heading mark 40.8.2, returning with planetary samples at atmospheric imaging. Analysis shows the energy source to be an unstable radioactive material of enormous potential. We are unable to form an accurate risk assessment at this time, but we are unlikely to find an energy source this powerful again. Analysis will continue, but currently Talon 4 appears to be a viable secondary headquarters. And then by the time of Metroid Prime 3, they're like Dark Samus's bitch. I think Prime 3 has the lamest pirate designs. They look okay, but they're not as cool. I think 2 has my favorite. There we go, now I can scan those. I guess if the audio is out of sync, I can always just fix it with video editing. I heard like the fraction of a second when the earbuds lost audio, and then it came back with more of a delay. Imagine doing this stuff live. Yeesh. I'm working my way up to it though. I probably will at some point. Oh, that's right, I can scan the planets here. These are cool. Planet Billium, mass 3.8 trillion teratons. 3.8 trillion teratons. Profile, quarantine. Atmosphere is rife with Miteralis, a sentient gaseous global exterminator virus. That doesn't sound fun. That sounds like the stuff in Vampire Hunter D. In the first Vampire Hunter D, there's like gas that eats things. Planet Twin Tibula, mass 4.1 trillion teratons. Profile. Planet is best known for twin fever, a disease caused by a viral strain native to twin tabula. In the early stages of the disease, victims suffer from double vision. When the twin sight fades, the victim is near death. I'm cured! I can see again! I can see normally again! You're going to die, Grandpa. Planet Zebus, mass 4.8 trillion teratons. Profile. Planet's crust is primarily earthic, primarily earthic ore, making it ideal for subterranean construction. A Class 19 planet, Zebus is inhospitable to most bioforms. The world was considered unremarkable until it became a base for space pirate forces. Yeah, but there was like Chozos and stuff. Planet Urmine 2. Mass 2.3 trillion teratons. Profile. An uninhabitable wasteland savaged by nuclear dust storms and constant seismic upheavals. Sounds like my kind of place. Planet Talon 4. Mass 5.1 trillion teratons. Talon 4 is a very large planet. You can see on the picture there, that's closer to what it looked like when you were on the space station in the original, looking down at the planet. But that would be a hell of an impact crater. Profile. Ecosystem studies indicate that Talon 4 was a biological paradise prior to the impact of an extraterrestrial object. What remains of the biosphere is slowly fading due to exposure to phazon radiation. At current rate of decay, Talon 4 will be a barren Class 13 wasteland in approximately 25 years. Sad. But in Prime 3, if you go to the observatory, the Chozo observatory there, you see that, like, I think the humans have established, the G-Fed has established a base there, and they're helping the ecology recover. Because that's what we do. Enough of that, like, nihilistic, like, ooh, what if humans were the virus, man? What if we were the bad things? Alright, we're gonna stop this part here, and I will be back with more Metroid Prime.